Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living throughout chaos. I just heard about the chemical spill in Arizona. We've got that stuff going on from Ohio where they are saying that the residents that were exposed to those chemicals, that their DNA may already be starting to change because of those chemicals. Imagine that. Every time that I see Charles Nenner, who's a renowned economist, i.e., his name is Dr. Charles Nenner. He's actually a medical doctor who is now and has been a renowned economist. Whenever I see him do an interview, especially with Mr. Hunter, I always go over it with you all because he's always been right. This man has always been right. So that tells me that we need to listen to what he's predicting to come here in the near future. I am afraid for the worst, says Charles Nenner. The war is going to pick up and gold is going to $30,000. Do you believe that, ladies and gentlemen, that gold is going to go to $30,000? The only reason, in my opinion, why gold would go up to $30,000 is if things are really bad. Believe it or not, I own a little bit of gold. I own more silver than gold, obviously. And if gold goes to $30,000, silver is going to shoot up as well. But I really don't want to live in a world where gold is $30,000 because that means that some bad things have happened. And talking about precious metals, be on the lookout. I have a video coming up that's going to have a giveaway of a very nice silver coin. I'm not sure if I'll publish that video today or tomorrow morning, right? But be on the lookout for that because there is a giveaway involved in that. So here, renowned geopolitical and financial cycle expert Charles Nenner said back in late November, interest rates were on the way down, but for very short term. What have I been telling you? I am not a renowned economist, all right, ladies and gentlemen, but I've been telling you that interest rates only have one way to go. One way to go, and that is up. And back in November, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nenner predicted that inflation would come down to about 6.5%. And the latest CPI data that came out, I think it was yesterday, hit 6.4. So I'm going to go ahead and give that to him. He's been on target on everything that he's said so far. I hope that he is 100% wrong about the title of this article. Believe it or not, I would rather gold not go up to $30,000 an ounce. Again, that would mean that bad things are happening. And they continue to say here that Mr. Nenner now says that inflation has bottomed, meaning that it only has one way to go, ladies and gentlemen. And his cycle says prices for everything will go up from here. Man, you better be preparing. That's all I have to say. So is the Fed going to do the so-called pivot and start lowering interest rates? Question. Nenner says, we are going up. Not right away, but we are going up. So we have time to prepare, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if you've heard about the PPI, or the Purchaser Price Index, which is the price that wholesalers pay for goods, went up this last month. And what does that mean for inflation? It is a leading indicator saying that inflation for the next month will be higher. Because if it costs more for wholesalers to make stuff, to produce things, then that means it's going to cost even more for the consumer. So here he says, you don't hear the talk anymore that the Fed is going to lower rates because it is so ridiculous. If you are an insider, the Fed funds rate in the futures just made a new high. So now everybody is expecting a much higher Fed funds rate than a few months ago. We are not out of trouble yet. And the bounce in stocks is also almost over, which means that stocks are going to be coming back down. Remember, I've talked to you in the past about a bear market rally, meaning that we are in a bear market trend. However, we have little rallies in between the lows. Nenner sees short-term rates going up until 2024 and the Fed funds rate going up to about 6.5%. We will be in a deep recession at 6.5%, ladies and gentlemen. As we've talked about before, people are going to start losing their jobs en masse this year, 2023. Nenner also thinks that the stock market can go down 40% later this year. On the war front, Nenner said that the war in the Big U would get worse, and he was right again. And now Nenner says that, quote, if the West does not understand what is going on and starts bringing in airplanes, like they've said, I am really afraid for the worst. Nobody has any idea how other countries think. They think you can push everybody around, and you can't push everyone around. We've gotten away with it for too long here in the United States. We've gotten away with being the world's bully for too long, ladies and gentlemen, and there will be a price to pay for that. And I say that with a heavy heart because this is my country, this is where I live and my family lives. But everyone in this country will be paying the price for the decisions of our policymakers. And he continues to say at a certain moment they will have had enough. I don't think we are ready for a big war, not even to mention a nuclear war. So something is going to come and make everyone very afraid, and I think this is why the markets will go down. In other words, people will start freaking out by the middle of 2023 and the markets tanks, Nenner says. And ladies and gentlemen, by the middle of 2023, what has the Federal Reserve said they're going to introduce into our economy? A CBDC. Right? So think about this. The markets tank in the middle of the year. People panic. A lot of people lose everything. The American people are already in despair. They're living paycheck to paycheck. Wouldn't that be a great time for the government to introduce a CBDC? In other words, people will be freaking out by the middle of 2023 and the markets tank. And he continues to say that based on a war cycle, and he is a cycles guy. And I think that cycles are the way to go because human nature is very predictable. So he says that based on the war cycle, the war is going to pick up and it's not going to end well. Nenner says the bull market in gold he sees in his cycles has not yet started, but it is only weeks away. We'll have to see. This is very interesting because what he's telling us is what he sees is going to happen. And he's been very precise on his past predictions, ladies and gentlemen. So it's going to be very interesting the next, few weeks to several months ahead. Nenner says that there is an enormous side for gold, or an enormous upside for gold. He says, I say enormous because I have inside information from the big economic summit in Davos. I heard things that can make your stomach turn. They are really concerned with taking out cash. They will have digital currency. And he says that gold can hit $2,500 per ounce, and we said that years ago. If it goes to that, gold can go to $30,000 per ounce. That could be because maybe things get so bad, they have to go back to a gold standard. And finishing it off, ladies and gentlemen, it says here that Nenner sees higher prices for food and energy and lower prices for residential and commercial real estate. Meaning that the things that you need to live, food and energy, is going to go up, and these investment properties are going to go down. And that's what happens during a severe recession. I believe it's going to eventually be a depression. So continue to prepare, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time for you to get everything tidied up. Get your house in order. Get as prepped as you possibly can. Because once this starts, you're not going to have time. It's going to happen fast, and that's my opinion. Having said that, again, be on the lookout for that other video. It was a very fun video to make, ladies and gentlemen, so I hope that you check it out later on tonight. Other than that, I hope that you have a great rest of your day. God bless every one of you. Thank you very much for your support, ladies and gentlemen. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.